Hey guys, this is RBR Short Films 13, aka Ryan, and today I'm doing a video talking about this is my last video in my 20s. I'm going to be 30 on September 13th. Um, I uh, I mean, I don't know what to feel a lot, but at the same time, um, uh, I don't know. I'm not like upset or angry that I'm turning 30. It's just like wowing that I'm gonna be 30, or like that 30 years went by uh that quick. And it didn't go by that fast, but that that's just yeah, I'm just I don't know, out of words. Uh but I wanted to make this video basically to talk about um what I've learned as a filmmaker, on me, in terms of like on YouTube and just filmmaker in general. What did I learn in my 20s, basically, that I can take with me into my 30s? Um, so I think what I learned a lot in my 20s with movies, making movies, is like production value is one of the biggest. When I first started making fan films, I knew that the camera quality of my movies could have been better. That was because of budget restrictions. It wasn't because I wanted my movies to look bad in terms of camera quality. But I took it more seriously in my 20s. And so I started using as many HD cameras, like, I mean, the best high quality cameras I could find, I could use. So in my 20s, I consistently try to improve upon the quality of my films, the picture, sound. I wanted my movies to be more and more movies. I wanted them to look and feel more like movies rather than it feeling like uh, a short film or a fan film and not something that feels real. I always wanted to feel real. Um, so I've learned a lot with that is how your movie looks is so important, because people just love high quality, and with a movie or anything, in 2025, you expect, what you're going to watch to be, HD. Now, not even HD anymore, 4K, you know. So I learned a lot about 4K in my 20s and formatting and resolution and so much more than I did when I was a teenager. So I've learned a lot about that in my 20s. Um, so that's one of the biggest things. I've learned patience a lot in my 20s. I've gotten better as a director, in terms of directing people. When I first started directing, when I was a teenager, my teenage years, I was very impatient, um, and could be really mean, and wasn't necessarily the most fun to collaborate with, all the time. Um, at that time when I was growing up, I was going through a lot of PTSD and medications that I was on, and a lot of personal things. So it wasn't even all like connected to the movies I was making. The movies were always an escape for me, but I've gotten better with how I talk to my actors and how I approach um, uh, my creative ideas and things that I want to do much better now. So people enjoy collaborating with me more than they did. Uh, and I'm really happy about that, that I've gotten better at directing people. And that is such an important thing with making movies, because it's never easy. It's not, I mean, I'm always nervous when I'm on set or on location directing actors. Sometimes I can't even like talk because it's like how much anxiety I have. But I try my absolute best to, um, uh, I just try my absolute best. So I definitely take that with me, and learn that from my 20s is now I'm a much better director, when it comes to my collaboration with people. Um, Another thing I've learned in my 20s is, another big thing is, sound. That's another big thing. It's just sound in general for a film. Uh, Um, so like ADR recording, getting actors to re-record their audio because the dialogue didn't sound good originally. I didn't start doing that until my 20s. Um, and it became a more and more relevant thing as time went on. Um, but if I wasn't able to get ADR from my actors, it wasn't because I didn't want to get ADR. It was because those actors didn't want to do ADR. So um, now, the fingers are pointed at me, of course, and that's what it is as a director. But I've learned so much about the importance of sound and background noise and how important it is for actors to re-record their audio consistently. Like after filming a movie and after editing it, you still need the actor to re-record their audio because not for every scene in a movie, of course, but if there was, background noise, a lot of hum, uh, I mean, just like a lot of bass, a lot of just a lot of random sound that shouldn't be there. It's just when you record actors like with microphones and um, and it's just separate from the day of filming. It's just you can get so much clear audio that you couldn't when you were on location. Sometimes I get really lucky where I didn't run into many audio issues and I didn't have to use much ADR in my films. But I think it's just very important because sound effects and music sound better under ADR. So I've learned that that's such an important thing is sound. Um, Another thing is planning. I create schedules now for my movies. I used to never do that with my movies, was creating schedules. And now every time I make a movie, when I'm in the process of making it, like before filming starts, I will write a list of things of whatever the movie needs, what I need to do for the movie, and basically creating the schedule like uh, picking the day when to film this scene and picking another day to film this scene, how many hours are required for the actor that day. I've learned a lot of how to do that now, and that's really helped my movies. It really has is a schedule, an outline. People know exactly what day and what location and what is required, and that has has really solved so many problems that I've had with making movies. It really, honestly, it's just absolutely um, incredible. Another thing I'd say I've learned as a filmmaker is screenwriting that I need to get better as a screenwriter. Um, in my 20s, I really try to uh, focus on that. And I believe as I go on, the better writer I become, the better screenwriter. But I think I can get way better. And in my 30s, I want to do more. I want to do more research on screenwriting. I want to do more um, studying and figure out how I can write my screenplays better. I don't think that I'm a terrible screenwriter by any means. I think I'm decent, um, but I think I can be way better than I am. So that's something I'm going to take with me into my 30s. A big thing I need to improve upon is how I write uh, um, certain scenes, how they're written a certain way, or some of the dialogue to pay attention to that. Another thing that I've learned, and I learned in my 20s, is to listen to my actors at times, to take their advice. I mean, I've always been that kind of person, that kind of director, but I take advice way more now than I did when I first started out directing. So, I mean, I've always been open to ideas by actors. I've never been against like great improv ideas like ever. I believe I've gotten better at being a little bit more open-minded to it. I think one of the things I also learned is that movies don't get done overnight. I think COVID really tested me, my patience as a filmmaker, because I was trying to get one of my movies done, and then COVID hit, and so I was halfway through filming the movie, and I had to cancel filming the movie. I didn't know what was going to happen with the world. I think are the main ones that I've learned in my 20s, about being a filmmaker, what I can do better, or what I have gotten better at. Uh, I'm 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 still thinking like anything else, and um, I'd say that I have to take more risks as a filmmaker. I don't think I've taken enough risks when it comes to storytelling, directing. I think that I have to sort of go places artistically that I necessarily don't want to. I need to really expand upon who I am as a filmmaker. That also, I'm not just this horror movie director. That there are other genres of films that I love, and there's stories that I want to tell that aren't just horror, that are drama, um, that are romance, that are fantasy, even science fiction. There are all different kinds of genres of films, and I have stories to tell in all those genres. Not every single film genre, but a few other genres, and I want to explore those. I want to see how people react. If people like my filmmaking, my movies that aren't horror over the ones that are, and if people say, Ryan is best at horror, he should stick to horror, then I will stick to horror, and that's that. But at least I can say I tried, and I'd rather try than never try. I'm not going to stick to just making fan films forever. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to be remembered as like the fan film director. I've made my own original films like The Double Servant, The Double Servants, Insane Michael's Origin, Insane Cage of Madness, Jester Returns. And so I want to continue to make more original films. A Time Killer's Game, that's going to be my next big slasher film, original slasher film. And then a film called Love Still Exists. It's a love story. It's a drama, romance film. So yeah, I'm just really gonna be expanding upon what I can do as a director, not just stick to horror. I'm still, of course, going to continue to make horror movies, but I'm wrapping up fan films. I also have learned that in my 20s is it's time to say goodbye to fan films. That was a fun thing to do when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, I mean, but now I'm going to be 30, and I think over 15 years of making fan films has been enough for me. So this next final Nightmare movie fan film that I'm doing is going to be my final fan film. Rise of Elm Street originally was, but because it did so well, and the actors that made Rise of Elm Street with me wanted to come back, and how excited they were expressing, I just couldn't say no. But this will be it. This will be it after this one, and I'll definitely be emotional because it's just getting older, and uh, looking back, like I can never go back to my 20s and change something of one of those fan films. Change a scene that I wish I could have directed differently, or edited differently, or wrote differently. Um, I can't go back, and that's so. Um, there will be a part of me that will miss making fan films, of course. But at the same time, I think there'll be a bigger part of me that will be happy to move on, and I'll just be grateful that those movies exist. They're out there on YouTube, and people can enjoy my fan films, and I'm happy about that. But I'm ready to move on. I've learned that in my 20s is it's time to let go of fan films. So there's a lot of things I've learned as a filmmaker, um, and there's plenty of more things to learn in my 30s. You know, this it's a long process being, you know, a filmmaker. Nothing is overnight, and you're always learning. You know, I've learned that also as a filmmaker, is that you're always learning throughout the whole process of making movies. Is just you never stop learning. So it's really it's intense. It's emotional. It's exciting. It's all different kinds of emotions. But it's my favorite thing in the world, and it gives me peace, it gives me happiness, it helps me confront my fears, a lot of problems that I have, a lot of with my PTSD, I'm able to overcome a lot of, deal with a lot of trauma when I make my films in a very therapeutic way. So, um, yeah, I love making movies. I love telling stories and creating characters and for people to watch my movies. The fact that The Devil Servants played at a Regal Cinema in New Jersey back in 2021 was one of the greatest moments of my life. That was it was my own movie premiere at Regal Cinema, and it was just absolutely incredible. It was nonprofit, of course. Someone that worked there was able to project the movie, and we invited a lot of people, but nobody had to pay for a ticket or whatever. I mean, so everything was free because these are all nonprofit. Um, and you know, I'm fine with that. I just want to make movies. As long as I can write, I can make movies. That's all I care about. And something that I've learned in my 20s, I'll wrap it up here as a filmmaker, that to sort of pick up the pace a little bit more in the sense that, like, I already know life is short, but to really never take it for granted, to not really waste any moment. You know, if I have an idea, I need to write it down. You know, if there's an idea, I need to write it down. I have to stop. You know, I come up with a good idea, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll write that down later. Like, no, I have to get used. I got to get better at writing things down because I forget a lot of things. So, um, I definitely gonna take a lot of things with me into my 30s. I'm gonna continue to learn more and more as a filmmaker, but I believe I've learned a lot in the 30 years that I've lived my life. Um, and I'm really grateful for all the experiences over 21, 22 uh, short films that I've made in a span of 15 years, over 15 years. I'm really grateful. And this October is going to be 16 years on my channel, 16 years. So it's just wowing, but I'm grateful for you guys for watching my channel. I mean, watching my videos, subscribing to me all these years and supporting me. Um, I will forever be grateful for this. And I will continue to make movies. I'm never going to stop. I love films way too much. Almost, almost like unhealthy. But it's just I love making movies. There's nothing else I want to do. There's nothing more fun and exciting and challenging than movies, and it gives me a lot of peace with a lot of uh, PTSD that I deal with. So I thank you guys forever, and I will continue to make more and more films for you guys. So be patient, and more will be coming from RBR Shortman 13. And I also believe I will be creating another YouTube channel in the future for movies that I want to make that aren't horror, that are different genres. I think I want a separate channel for uh, movies that are drama, romance. Like, I want that to be a separate channel, and for horror to be kind of its own channel with Barbie Shrimp 13. So I think I'm gonna have create another YouTube channel in the future. So yeah, guys, stay tuned, guys. I have a lot in store, and this is just the beginning. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to everybody when I am 30. All right, peace.